Hey guys, it's Penguin here, and welcome back to another gold making video. Today we're going to be discussing old world engineering and how much gold you can actually make with this, and why you should be making sure you are leveling up the old expansion's worth of professions. Now, my goal is to do this with each profession, however today we're going to be starting with engineering, and let's get into it. Now, everything we'll be discussing today can be found on my crafted transmog spreadsheet. I have a video going over how to exactly use this. However, this is what all the information is on, and there's ultimately like all the breakdowns of everything that you need if you do not catch it in this video. And keep in mind, yes, I know it says crafted transmog, but we are not going to be discussing just that. As you can see right here, we're going to be talking about scopes, target dummies, bombs, stuff like that. And some of these things are not transmog, however, they're still on the sheet, so it's kind of like just a crafted spreadsheet. However, it is kind of focusing on transmog, but for the case of this video, we are not just discussing transmog. But yes, there will be a link down below to the spreadsheet. All you need to do is go to File, and then make yourself a copy. But we're going to go into the video and discuss how much money you can make from this, and yeah. Alright, so looking into classic engineering first, basically all you'll want to do is level from 1 to 300 engineering. Now on the side, I have already basically got a collection of one of each of the items that we're going to be highlighting today, and mostly they are just random items that are useful, as well as a few transmog pieces and everything like that. Now, I will want to point out one thing, that this Dimensional Ripper, there are two versions of it. There is the Dimensional Ripper, like I said. There's also the Ultra Safe Transporter. Now, to get these two items at the end of leveling, you either choose Goblin or Gnomish Engineering. You do that after you hit the level 300, and depending on which one you pick, you either fly to Winterspring or Tanaris to just pick up this schematic. I included it since it is a very big moneymaker, and also it is very easy to get. Basically, you just have to max out your engineering, pick one of the two sides, and then just quickly take a quick flight path. So I am including that, even though technically it's not just a vendor recipe. It is, however, it does take a little bit more work to get it. But as you can see, we have a collection of about 10 items that we're going to be discussing, and mostly these have some really good sell rates. If we scroll down, this big iron bomb goes for about 0.03 sell rate, which is really nice. The goggles that we have queued up is going for 0.02. The Ripper is going for 0.05. The helmet is going for 0.06, 0.02, and so on. So these have very good sell rates, and they can sell pretty fast if you constantly post these every day. Even the scopes have a 0.04 or 0.07. So of course, these are not insane sellers. However, these sell rates make it, so you should be getting some sales if you stock up your auction house. Keep in mind, I only queued one of these things. However, for let's say the bombs, for example, or the scopes, you might want to queue up 5 of them, since they are items that people will want to buy. But even if we set it like this, we'll be crafting 22 items. It would cost me about 6,000 gold in order to craft these, and we are making 112,000 gold profit, which is insane. Now, most of this is because of this Dimensional Ripper. However, if we take that away, we are still turning 5,000 into 60,000 gold. Now, this literally just takes a few seconds to complete. You just queue it up, you go under your gathering, make sure you have your engineering selected, and it'll tell you everything that you have to do. You can go on the auction house, buy all these parts, or you can craft them like it says that you should. But TSM will walk you through it, but these are the exact things that you should be crafting. Of course, it's on the spreadsheet, but this is just classic engineering. Alright, so going into Outland engineering, now I do not actually have this engineering leveled up yet, so I will be going through the unlearned tab. However, the first thing I want to be showing off is basically a lot of these goggles. Now, the reason why these are so good is because these are transmog pieces, and once again, they only required you to just level up the profession. For example, this one right here, you learn it for Outland engineering with level 50, and if you hover over this, these sell for about 22k on my server. Now, I currently cannot get an estimated price. This price is wrong right here. However, if we do want to use it, that's 15k. We're turning it into 22k, so that's like a 7k profit. However, this is not TSM. This is just This is just an inaccurate number. However, you could use that if you wanted to. And once again, we could just look through all of these. Some of these are drops. However, most of these are learned from Outland Engineering, which then you can sell these on the auction house. Keep in mind, these still have a 0.02 sell rate, which is pretty good for crafted transmog. However, that is one set of items that you should be looking at whenever you are leveling your engineering. The second thing I want to highlight is the Dimensional Ripper for this expansion. Just like how Classic has one, this one also has it. And of course, like I said, if you choose Goblin Engineering, this is the one that you will be learning. And of course, if you pick Gnomish Engineering, then this is the one that you are going to be crafting. Now, currently, this one right here, as you can see on the auction house, it is selling for 64,000 gold and has a 0.04 sell rate. So once again, we don't really have a crafting cost because this is once again inaccurate. However, if you do want to use that number, that is still over a 10k profit just on this one item with a pretty nice sell rate. If we want to look at the ultra safe transporter, as you can see, this one is actually a lot cheaper on my auction house. However, the region sale average is about 20 to 30k, so hopefully it does a lot better on your realm. However, these are the two other options that you have with TBC Engineering. Alright, so moving on to Northrend Engineering. Once again, you will just be wanting to level this up to level 75, and currently I have 8 items to show off. Now the first one we're going to be looking at is actually a pet, and this is the Engineer Mobile Mailbox, which is a very nice seller, and currently there's about a 3k profit on it, and once again all you have to do is learn the recipe, and then there you go, you have it. Now as you can see, it cost about 800 gold to make, and we're selling it for about 4,000, so it's a very nice profit. The second thing we're going to be looking at is the Scrapbot Construction Kit. Now this one I included even though it is a little bit of an exception because you do have to do a few quests in order to get this. It is very simple. Basically you have to go kill a mob, then you just loot that quest, turn it into somebody, and you will get this recipe. Now the reason why I included this is because it sells really good on my server, and it sells very fast. If we look at it, for right here, as you can see, it has a 0.07 sell rate, and currently you are selling these for about 1,600 gold. And as you can see, a day ago, I actually sold 20 of them. Now keep in mind that one crafting also crafts 5 of these kits. So really, it has a very cheap crafting cost, and you're getting 5 of these to post on the auction house. So this is something that, even though technically you do have to go out your way to do a quest, this is definitely very reasonable. The next 2 things we're looking at is the shotgun as well as the Nessingwary. These are 2 different weapons that, as you can see, they are a little bit lower on the sell rate side because these are very high value crafted transmogs. However, you can see the profit margins on these are crazy. Each of them cost about 6 to 7k in order to craft, and the shotgun right now on my server is selling for about 60,000 gold, while the Nessingwary is about 30,000. So these are 2 items that you definitely want to be crafting. Next thing we have up are the epic goggles that you get. Currently, there's a lot of them. For example, we have the armored, we have the visage, we also have the charged, and basically you just go down through here and you queue them up. Some of these you do not want to queue up. I only queue up the purple ones. But yes, there are a lot, and I would not do these mechanized snow ones. Of course you can, however they are a bit slow sellers because they are only rare. However, the epic ones are very nice. And as you can see, with all of those added, it adds us a lot of estimated profit because each of these have about a 30k profit just in themselves. And of course, the sell rates are anywhere between 0.01 to 0.03, which is really nice for crafted transmog. Once again, we have wormhole generators, which you just learn like normal, and you can sell these as well. Currently, there's actually a negative 300 gold profit on these, so definitely want to check that out. And also, with these noise machines, sometimes there are some messed up profits. However, if you can craft them for a profit, this is something you definitely want to be crafting. Now, with those 13 items queued, as you can see, it's going to cost about 42k in order to craft all of these items with about a 313,000 gold profit, which is insane. Most of this is from the goggles. However, even without it, it was still in the 100k range mark, and this is all simply from gear that you get from strictly just leveling the profession. So this is definitely something you want to do, and we are going to be moving on to Cata. Now looking at Cata, I also do not have this one leveled up, so we are going to be looking at the Unlearned tab. However, the first thing I want to mention is all of these kill shaded goggles. Now there are 7 of them, and they all require basically just maxed out engineering to learn these. Now currently there are actually none on my auction house, which is going to be a very big opportunity for me to level this up and to sell these myself. If we hover over, as you can see, this has a 0.03 sell rate, and you can sell it for about 40,000 gold. If we keep going, this one sells for about 32,000 gold. Keep going, this one's about 50, and so on. So anywhere between about 30 to 50,000 gold, you will be able to get these from these goggles. Currently, it says there's about a 4k crafting cost. However, that's not very accurate, so I'll take that with a little bit of a grain of salt. But goggles are definitely one of the big winners in Cata engineering. The Gnomish X-ray scope is the other thing you're going to be looking at. A lot of twinks and other type of characters use these, and as you can see, currently they sell for about 188 gold on my realm. However, that is very cheap, and honestly I'm probably going to buy those and reset them myself. But as you can see, the region sale average is anywhere between 4,000 to 5,000 gold, which is a lot more reasonable for these items, so hopefully your server is selling these around that price instead of the 100 mark for me. But these are definitely another item you should be looking at. And lastly, the most popular one probably, is the Looterang. As you can see, it has a 0.02 sell rate, once again, and all you need is Cata engineering, and as you can see, it is a toy that some people will want to have, and it sells for about 1,500 gold. So this is definitely something else that you want to be crafting on the auction house, and with the Looterang, with the scope, and all of the goggles, you can definitely make some huge profit margins with Cata engineering. Alright, moving on to Pandarian engineering, the first thing to look at is Tinker's Gear. Now, Tinker's Gear is so good because a lot of twinks use it and people leveling up, and they are very cheap to make. As you can see, it literally just costs 2 ghost iron bars to craft all these things, and most of them have about a 10k profit on them. Now there's a ton of them to make, and also their sell rate is pretty good. A 0.02 is once again really, really good. So just creating these Tinker's Gear is definitely very, very useful, and can make some quick gold. The next thing we're going to be talking about is yet another scope, and it is the Scope of Doom. And currently it is actually a negative profit because it looks like somebody crashed the price, so I would probably buy that out. However, on average it sells for about 3,000 gold, and as you can see, the crafting cost is about 1,000, so that's about a 2,000 gold profit. The next thing we will be looking at are the 2 weapons, the Big Game Hunter as well as the Long Range Trillium Sniper. They both have about an 8,000 gold profit, and they are pretty simple to make as well. Also, just like all the other expansions, we also have the Retinal Armor goggles, which are not being calculated with their profit, sadly. However, the first one is, and currently this one is going for way overpriced on my server. It should be going for about 33k, and honestly, most of these will go for about anyway to 30 to 50k, just like previously. But sadly, TSM is not calculating all of their profit. Moving on, we have the Wormhole Generator, which is once again another toy that lets you teleport to Pandaria, and currently it sells for about 4,000 gold, making about a 1,200 gold profit with a 0.5 sell rate, and that is mostly it. One thing I do want to say is that engineering for Pandaria also has the Sky Golem. Now you do actually have to go kill things in order to get this recipe to drop for you. However, if you do get this, this is definitely an added bonus, and you can make some good gold crafting these Sky Golems. But with everything being added together, as you can see that we're going to be crafting about 19 items, and it's going to cost about 63,000 gold with about a 223,000 gold profit. Now, going on to Draenor engineering, it is slightly different because you actually do not need to level this profession. What you need to do is every day you need to do this daily, which will give you a book which you can buy one of these new recipes with. So every day you can unlock a new recipe, and then also every day you need to be doing the daily cooldown in order to get these parts which you need to craft these items. So this one will be a little bit slower to get started. However, it is pretty cheap to get started since you're not leveling a whole profession at once. But with that being said, I currently have 2 of the items that we're going to be looking at, which one is the Shredder. It is just a gun, and it cost about 100 parts to create. And currently on my server, it goes for about 5,000 gold, with about a 2k crafting cost. So this is about a 3k profit. Of course, you will have to do that cooldown quite a bit in order to get these parts, but it is pretty nice to have on the auction house. The second item is also the Swap Blaster, which once again it uses parts as well as a crystal, and currently these also sell for about a 3,000 gold, and it only cost about 1,000 gold to create. Something that's really awesome about this one is that it does have a 0.1 sell rate, which means these will sell pretty fast, and you probably might want to keep maybe 3 of them in your inventory so you can always make sure you are restocking. The things that I do not personally have learned yet are the goggles. There are 4 versions of these, and as you can see, they also require one of the books to level up, and basically, once again, they just require 100 parts to craft, and these sell for about 5,000 gold a piece. Currently, looks like they're selling for about 3,000 on my server, but they're very cheap to make and very easy to sell, and they have a pretty nice sell rate with 0.02. We also have the Looterang, which is the Wad Looterang, which is once again just another toy. You can also pick this one up. It uses parts to craft as well, and it sells for about 3,000. And lastly, we have the Wormhole Centrifuge, which once again, you need to pick up with one of the books. You need to have parts to craft these, and currently these sell for about 2.6k as well, with a 0.03 sell rate. So Draenor is definitely something you want to make sure you're getting started as soon as possible, because it will take probably a week to a week and a half to maintain and get all of these recipes due to the fact that it is a daily cooldown. Now the last thing we're going to be talking about is Legion Engineering, and currently I have a few of the items, but also as you can see I'm only about 34 out of 100 in the way, so we're going to be looking at these from the Unlearn menu as well. The first thing we're going to be looking at are gun shoes. Now to actually get this item, you do have to complete the quest line for Legion Engineering. Legion is special because they do have a literal quest line for the profession. Now of course, completing this quest line will get you to max for your profession, so technically it is just leveling up. However, you do need to complete those quest lines in order to get gun shoes, and for most of these actual recipes. But as you can see, they sell for anywhere between 500 to 1,000 gold, and they just help you move forward. Basically, people are still using these in Shadowlands, so they are very important, and they are pretty cheap to make. Secondly, we have all of these Reeves modules. Now, if you don't know what Reeves is, it is basically just a companion toy slash thing that you can put on the ground, and having these modules can really help, and it helps people customize what they want to do. Now, once again, you get these from completing the quest line, and currently they have about a 0.02 sell rate, and they sell anywhere between 10 to 50,000 gold. This one was selling for region average is about 16,000, and on my server it was selling for about 60. This one sells for a region about 7 and sells for a market value of about 21 on my server. So these are definitely nice to pick up and have crafted as well. Lastly, the thing that I do have learned are auto hammers. These are very useful for people because it is basically a portable hammer and repair station. So all you have to do is make sure you do the quest line, unlock these, and these are profitable right now. Currently, because I don't have rank 3, they're a little bit under profit because the price has fallen a bit. However, if you can get that rank 3, which you have to just find a work order for, then it's definitely useful, and these sell pretty fast. These have a 0.1 sell rate, and they are still useful in Shadowlands to this date. But yeah, guys, that is basically it. This was just kind of a video so I can just throw this information at you, and so you can take time to actually level up your engineering, and these are just very, very basic items that you can get in order to make the most profit that you can. Now, if you guys do take a look at the spreadsheet, you will find everything that I just listed, plus some, and the others that you will find will either be RNG based, or there'll just maybe be a few side quest lines that you have to complete, but there are also a ton more items that I did not list today that you can take the extra effort in order to get. But guys, I hope this video kind of helps you start your transmog and your profession journey. If you guys have not done old world professions at all, this is definitely a very good starting place. Now, Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope this helps. Be sure to check out my Twitch channel. I am going live 4 days a week. Also, check out my Patreon if you would like to support me in a monetary way. Of course, you do not have to. It is highly optional. Also, please join the Discord. We have surpassed 1,000 members, which is insane. I am so ready to celebrate that, but that is amazing. So be sure to join that amazing community. And thank you guys so much for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe, and have a good day.